And it's looking, if I can see around our little tent here that is flapping in the wind.
Yeah, that looks like perhaps, I want to say Oregon, yeah.
I want to put Oregon in the front here. Looks like we have gotten eyes on Oregon. Again, Alexander Su Chen stroking that quad.
Yeah, these Oregon Unlimited quads, I am just so impressed. They,
absolutely a force to be reckoned with here. What a race we are seeing from Oregon Unlimited here.
Yeah,
again, they truly are unlimited. I hate to make a play on their name, but their potential just keeps going up and up and up, and it is unbelievable seeing them coming across the line again first, followed by lane 6.
It's crazy how horizontal they're rowing. There's no up and down movement to the boat at all. It really is just lateral plane of movement, and that's a sign of an exceptionally gifted technical quad.
Very clean front ends here. There is no stoppage in that beautiful, beautiful boat rowing across the rain-dappled finish line here.
And here we have Vashon, I think, about to pull it in for silver. Strong row from Vashon, too. Very adept scullers down there at Vashon Rowing Club.
You're absolutely right. Lane 5, you see that teal, followed by Empacher yellow.
I
Lane
think that
2.
was Seattle Prep. Yeah,
Seattle Prep.
Way to go, Prep.
Followed very closely by lane 6, Pocock, and lane 3.
You know, I'm not sure between
Eugene.
Pocock and Eugene who took that 4th place spot. That might have been for a national. I think there are national spots to be had at the U17 quad level. So I think that might have been a race for a national ticket. So we're very curious to see what the official times were. Pocock might have gotten it. All right, so unofficially on our screen here, we've got, I don't know if that's right. I'm going to go ahead and question what I saw versus this, because I think it was Oregon Unlimited.
Here, even now, here we have some.
There we go.
Some changes here.
Yeah,
that's why we always wait. We get very excited watching these times. We get very excited. That was again a Youth Nationals qualifying event.
Awesome.
So again, top 4 go on. So as soon as we get our times populated up here, we have our top 4 rounding out that have punched their tickets to Youth Nationals in Sarasota in just mere weeks.
Wow, that was a very close finish between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That was a tight race with only 3 seconds separating them. Pocock, it seems, just made that threshold by, it looked like a second and a half before that graphic went away. Congratulations to Pocock on pulling it ahead in that last. Thank you for bringing that back up. That is great. So Oregon with the win, unofficially. Vashon for silver. Seattle Prep with the bronze, and Pocock clinching that all-important 4th place position to get their ticket to Nationals, an opportunity to go to Sarasota Bradenton later this summer. And those are our official results now, so congratulations to those 4 boats, and congratulations to Eugene and Vancouver Lake for a hard-fought race. All right, and we've got our officials headed back to the start line. It is still raining here. We saw some radar earlier that kind of gave us an indication of more rain to come potentially over the next 30 to 45 minutes. So we appreciate your patience. Those of you following online, you can just be bored by our voices. And by bored, I mean wildly entertained, because when I say that I have a world-class commentator sitting right next to me, I am not ashamed to admit it. She was at Dad Vale's last weekend sporting a rowing blazer for the ages, looking timeless on camera. Prior to that, she was rocking... You were at Acras, yeah? Or no?
Not this year,
not
actually.
that.
I have.
You've done Acras, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We were at Southwest Juniors. I was
right.
at Wera.
San Diego Crew Classic? Yeah.
We are on tour, as we say.
Indeed, yeah. Whereas I'm just kind of like this troll that lives under a bridge in the Northwest, and occasionally once a year they bust me out for this event, and it's tons of fun. I like, leaving my bridge. It's a little bit scary to leave the confines of my underbridge, but I think it's worth it for this event, and I'm glad to be joined by national and indeed international commentator talent like this. It's pretty cool.
Well, you are way too kind. Unfortunately, today we are wearing far from blazers, more like Pacific Northwest rainy, cold weather gear. But
it's more appropriate. You know, when you're on the Cooper River, you got to put up the swag and rock the rowing blazers.
There's a time and a place.
Absolutely.
And it is not right now in this squall. But
no.
the beauty of having this kind of rain is we have impeccable water. So although we do have the rain, we do have fantastic racing conditions, absolutely flat water. I would pay money to race on this lake right now, as is, even in a little bit of rain. But you and I have both lived in the UK and rowed in the UK and spent plenty of time rowing in the rain, as have many of these crews here.
I like rowing in the rain. I feel like not only does it make my blisters bigger, which is always a win, it's like a nice little spritz as you're rowing. It keeps you cool. You know, you start to sweat a little bit. Who needs to shower after you've been rowing in the rain?
I certainly do. But I will have to say I am very glad that you actually brought that up, because I was going to ask you about blisters in the rain as well.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me about my personal hygiene.
No. Don't worry, I will leave that to you.
We'll save that for dinner chatter.
Another day, maybe the finals. But I would love to hear just very briefly how the rain actually affects the different grips on like a wood versus silicone rubber handle, because I think it does make a difference when it's raining and you have that little extra bit of water just rubbing on those blisters or those calluses just a little bit. So what do you think? Does it make a big difference there? And again, answer me. Well, we have our crews just coming down the line into view. So we're waiting just moments again to get eyes on this race. We have not forgotten we are here to race.
I like the time crunch on my opportunities to wax poetic, because I would probably go on ad nauseum. So I appreciate that we're setting boundaries on my ability to just give you all of the information about oar handles right now. For those of you that don't know, oar handles can be any variety of materials at this point in rowing history. They all used to just exclusively be wood, typically cedar wood, although sometimes there were different materials that were used depending on the lightness of the wood, the ability to flex, because these oars do flex and bend as we pull on them. And it's really great when you watch a nice willowy oar just kind of whip and send that water. And so, as I was mentioning earlier, sometimes we have wooden handles now. Sometimes we have smoother kind of rubber handles. And sometimes there are composite that have kind of harder materials in them, kind of more plasticky. And my basic understanding, at least from my experience, is that wooden handles are a lot easier due to the wood grain to grip in the rain. It kind of creates a tactile experience. It's actually quite pleasant to row with, because you've got this sort of groove to the wood, and you can feel that wood grain as you're yanking on it. In my experience, though, you're going to get much bigger blisters, and it's much harder to row in the rain when you've got those composite materials of plastic and rubber. Because it's a smoother surface, you're going to have to work harder, and so you're going to grip a little bit more to maintain that tactile connection with your oar. So your blisters are going to be a bit more pronounced, but I actually like getting blisters. I consider them hand trophies, because even if you haven't won a real trophy or a real medal, at least you've got validation on your hands, and you can show your friends that. I'm sure many people's friends and families of rowers.
I was going to say, everybody loves to be asked about their battle wounds, right?
Totally.
Scars last forever.
They do.
That's right.
Glory lives on.
That's what I meant to say. And as we wrap up on the Glory Lasts Forever and the scars here, let's go back to the course here. I think we can start to see our boat race shaping up here as we are strokes away from the 500 to go, as we finally have eyes. Again, we want to thank you so much for your patience with the squall here. We have not been able to get our drone in the air, but we are going to do the best that we can right now from the shoreline, keeping it hot and entertaining as we come into the red buoys in about 5 strokes. And so right now it's looking like Pocock and Olympia Area Rowing Association in the lead. Again, that Pocock 4 led by Michael Kim. Olympia Area Rowing Association stroked by Henry Lobb. But on the outside here, we would be remiss not to mention Renton Rowing Club.
Yeah, Renton doing some damage over there.
Truly.
Yeah.
That's right. Stroked by Mac Callahan in that lovely teal. Really helps to be able to see against the gray there. Very flashy. But right now, it's looking like lane 4 in the lead. which is Olympia Area Rowing Club, just overtaking Pocock at this time. But I think we are going to see a heck of a showdown here between these two boats as they all bring up the rate. Because as I speak, look at Renton.
Yeah.
What is happening here on the outside? Unbelievable sprint by Renton coming. Is it too much too late?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. It looks really snappy, though. I applaud any crew that can bring it up like that at the end of 2,000 meters. Yeah,
that's right.
They're trying, but I just don't think they're going to have it.
You said trophies for smiles a few races ago, and if you could see the smile on lane 4, bow seat's face right now as he crosses the line first.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. I think that was Pocock over there that just finished second.
That's right.
And that's Renton in the third spot. I think they were gunning pretty hard for Pocock. Whitney, you'd mentioned earlier that this is actually Renton's 10-year anniversary. Really exciting anniversary for the Renton program. Renton actually came from Pocock. The George Pocock Rowing Foundation has been seeding and starting boathouses in the area for almost close to 30 years now. Starting with the Pocock Rowing Center there in Seattle. The Renton Rowing Center is now its own independent nonprofit, but was started as a part of the Pocock family. And as the George Pocock Rowing Foundation continues their mission to just get kids on the water from a diverse range of backgrounds.